Okay folks, just a quick test of the audio. Okay folks, right, we've got that. Just a quick test of the audio. Right, we've muted the stream, so oh, we need to get rid of that. Hang on a sec. Right, I think we are create your name in the audio file. Right, I know where I am now. I'm just chatting to one of the game developers, asking a question. We're looking at live streaming of Shooter's Pool, which went live on November the 1st. And well, if you listen to the referee, you'll hear him call out one of the players' names. And it's just a
foul.
A challenge room, as you'd call it elsewhere. Just a race to one. We have Jorge Sanz, who's playing Dark Horse. And I finally remembered, I think, how to move the cameras. Hang on a sec. Right, so we're at the opposite end of the table. And they're just playing 9-ball. And if I keep pressing the L button, I'll get the overhead view, and I'll also then get the free view, which allows you to rotate the table. General options and audio. Let's have a look at that. General options and audio. Ambience, crowd, speaker,
Foul.
menu, music, balls, table, queue, ambience, crowd, speaker. Well, presumably that means referee. I've got them all slid up, so it should be working. Right, I'm just going to change to, if I can find the bloody link. Hang on a sec. What's happened to my mouse? I've lost my mouse.
Foul.
Right. I think we're a bit better organised now. Right. What we're saying is we have Live Shooter's Pool, which is a new PC billiard simulation game. And it's two Spanish brothers, I believe, that have developed the game. And this is the first major pool and billiard simulation to come on the market, which is mainly going to be a rival to Virtual Pool 4, which is the best billiard simulation game out there. This game is trying to better it. It still has a little way to go, in my opinion. But bearing in mind Virtual Pool 4 has been on the market since 2012, it's been 5 years or more since Virtual Pool has been challenged for the right to declare it's the best billiard simulation out there, if my voice is going to hold out. So we have Jorge Sanz, one of the developers, and his brother is Marcos, I believe, and he's playing Dark Horse from the UK, and there's a couple of Spanish brothers that have developed this game. And in the link, in the description, there should be a link to the Shooters Pool website for anybody who wants to look and read up on the details. So we're playing 9-ball. And we'll have a look around the table. That's the overhead view, obviously. I don't know what's happened to my voice. It just suddenly decided it's going to crack up. And we're on the free roam camera now. And we can zoom in. Of course, the problem with the background's been on. You've got various bits of furniture getting in the camera view when you move around the table sometimes. You can see the cloth burn
Foul.
there, or where they've been breaking the marks on the cloth. So up in the top right, the top of the HUD, you can see that the arrow next to the match score, or the rack score, is pointing to Dark Horse. He's at the table. He's got a nice angle to drop down onto the 7-ball. He needs to watch the scratch as well, because the angle's there to do that. And I think he's finished a bit straight on this 7. Oh, he's got a slight angle. And he's going to leave himself the long 8-ball, and there's a slight angle to drop over behind the 9. Let's check my little doodle works in this. Yeah, he should drop over here. Oh, he's overcut it. He actually needed to play that a bit more, with a bit more intent, to draw that cue ball across behind the 9. But he's got away with it. Now, Jorge, if he can see enough of this 8-ball, is going to try and... I don't think he can though, but he's just going to have to kick it. Good chance of kicking this in. Well, this is going to have to go around the table to get on this 9-ball, I think. I don't think he can hold it. And once again, he needed a bit of right-hand English on that cue ball to get it travelling, and he's left with a bank. Once again, playing the bank either up into the top right or the top left as we look. He's in danger of scratching into one of these bottom corner pockets as we look as well. Got to be careful with this. And that's going to be set up for Horgate. So, shooter's pool, you've got 9 ball, 8 ball, you've got straight pool, you've got 3 cushion, you've got straight rail billiards.
Silence, please. Game 1.
And you've got a multitude of tables and cues and shafts and cloth colours and all sorts of things that are all individually priced. And all the information is in that link that's on the video description. You can try the game out for a day if you want, or you can have an account for 3 months, 6 months or 12 months. There's online tournaments. One of the biggest features, or one of the best features, is that if you want to create your own tournaments, you can do that. If you get 3 of your friends together, you can have a 4-man tournament, set your own rules, and away you go. Well, that's a good shot. That's unlucky. He got that clean. It was a legal shot.
Foul.
Cue ball brushed the 7 ball after it hit the 3, but unfortunately the cue ball's followed the 3 in the pocket, so Horgay's got ball in hand. And a gentle roll through. Well, he's overdone it. A bit too much juice. He actually wanted to finish roughly about there on this 5 ball. That way he could just stun across for the 6 into the same pocket. But he's got an angle to run around. Well, he's kissed the 9. That's still going to work out if the 9 gets out the way. And that 6 will pass the 9, but it's tight. Yeah, the gap's there. Is he too gentle? Is it going to get there? Yes, it is. And another little gentle one in the 7. And he should have a fairly simple enough 8 ball down the rail. Just kill the cue ball, leave it there where the 8 ball is for the 9. Or he can run it through if he wants, whatever he's comfortable with, but it's just as easy to kill the cue ball. It's another rack gone.
Thank you. Game 1. Horgate stands to break.
So you notice that the referee is calling the player's name, so it creates an audio file according to the chat. That's quite a good touch, to have your name announced by the referee.
Foul.
So ball in hand to dark horse. and he's just struggling to get that control. That's the thing that I've got with the game as well. It's a little bit fiddly to get that touch, but you need to obviously play the game a lot more to get the feel for the shot. And now the cue ball needs to go up and down the table. I think the 6 ball goes into the middle. Let's see if we can get that camera rotating. Yes, it does, but it's got to go up and down the table to get there. Oh, he's missed the 5, and he said bottom left English on it. Came the wrong side of the 6. He might have got away with it, but this 5 will cut along the rail. Going for the safety. I think he's got the hook. Dark Horse goes for the kick, misses. Ball in hand to Horgate. Well, he should bring the cue ball down to this side of the 5 and just roll through for the 6. Now he needs to stun this. Well, it looks as if he's going to run across behind it on the short side to take it into this left middle pocket as we look. No, he's decided to go the first suggestion. Just roll through, that makes it simple. And this will be the last rack in this match because Dark Horse is going for a break after it. Well, it's going to be an awkward one in the 7. Oh, that's going to scratch. Kicking off the 9, so Horgate has ball in hand and a chance to win this rack. Well, this is just a straight roll through. Just got to judge the pace to get on the 9. And he's just gone through a wee bit more than you'd like, but he should be home and dry. So in it goes. So that's going to be the end of that match. And
thank you. Game 1. Hawkeye.
Right, we're now in a snooker room, and we'll find out if this referee calls anything in snooker or whether it's just pool that it works. So we've got somebody called Comeback against Jackson Lee. They're playing a race to 3. There are about 6 different locations, so there actually might be more than that, but there's actually 2 tournament locations that you only see in tournaments. These different locations can all be bought individually, although you're given a default location as you are default snooker tables, default house cues for the games. And needless to say, like in Virtual Pool 4 online, the house cues don't have the same power and accuracy as the purchase cues. But that doesn't stop you from trying the game out. In the top left of the HUD, you can see the frame score, the actual score for the frame. Comeback is leading currently by 17 points to 10, but if you look next to the numbers, there's smaller numbers, and those 2 smaller numbers, one of them is showing the current break that you're on, and the other one shows your highest break in the match. Now let's have a look and see if he's on any of these reds. And I think, well, that looks a bit tight to make the potting angle. It's touch and go whether he can get there without hitting that first red. No. He's had a blast at it. Well, the red's on there into the top right hand corner pocket. There's a straight red that I don't think he can get to past the blue, but if he gets a bit of bottom in this cue ball, he can draw in behind that 8. Sorry, the black. Calling it the 8 ball. But he can do that. He can pot that 8 and I keep saying the 8 now. He can pot the red into the top right. That one there into that pocket, and the cue ball can go that way and come out for the black into the same pocket. Well, he didn't get into the cue ball. That's the problem with that shot. If he'd got a bit of bottom on it, he could have drawn in behind the 8. I've said it again. It's watching all that 9 ball that's got me calling the black the 8 ball. But he could have drawn in behind the black there. And, well, he's going to have to play a long pink. Not an easy shot. And I think the red, the second red to the left of the cue ball goes into that left middle pocket, I think. And then again it looks tight. Let's have a look. Well, I think it does go. Yeah. That cue ball needs to slow up. Well, he's straight on the yellow. And he's going to have to, if he's got an angle, he's going to have either have a lot of top or a lot of draw on this cue ball to get back up the table off the yellow. So a lot of dig needed here. And if he doesn't go too far, he should be on either the red that's just above the pink or that red to the left there. So I think he's got a couple of choices. Let's nip down and have a look here. Well, he's on the red, and he should drop onto the black as well. He looks as if he's drawn back to try and play the pink. No, he tried to stun it. And he's got a shot in the black. Bit higher angle than is comfortable. And he should be able to drop the red in and come off the back rail back up for the black. Now in this shot, should just be a little roll through, and he should be on the other red above the black, or even this one to the right of the black, near the side cushion. He's stunned it up for that one, obviously. Let's have a look at the other one. He's probably going to take this one and then take the black again. Well, this is a bit straight. And that's, if it just nudges towards the pink, well, he's going to have a problem here. Or is he? I think he can. No, he's going to have a really tough one in that red, queuing right over the pink. And that's in no man's land. So the pink's out the game, the black's out the game. He could play a safety off the yellow and just drop the cue ball onto that baulk cushion. Unless he wants to get greedy and try and keep the break going. 3 reds out in the open. If he gets this yellow, he should be on one of those reds. He's overcut it. In fact, he's ended up in none of them. In fact, I thought that red would pass the pink. It doesn't. So that run comes to an end. I think that was a... What was that run there? 28. That's his highest break in the match for Jackson Lee. So Comeback is going to have to live up to his name in this frame. Well, it's going to be on into the left middle. Got it too heavy. So Jackson Lee has a 27-point lead. Oh, that's just going to drop. So the lead goes to 28. Now that yellow would drop him nicely on the red to the left of the blue, but he's decided to play a safety and keep Comeback in deep trouble. He should have went for the kill there. He had an easy enough yellow to drop in behind that red to the right of the blue there as we look. He could have killed the frame on off that way, but he's played the snooker Well, that might be the end of the frame now. Jackson Lee moves on to 50. Foul and miss has been called, and Jackson Lee has been, comeback's been put back in. So he should have a better judgment of the angle here this time to hit the red. Well, he's made no difference. He's played exactly the same shot. So you have to learn from your first attempt, and it doesn't seem that he has. So he's put in again. Jackson Lee's moved on to 54. So the lead's now 36, and there's still 43 in the table though. But Comeback needs to hit it this time, and he needs to get lucky and get it safe. And let's see if he's got a better judgment this time. Third time lucky. No, apparently not. He got closer. Now that won't be called a foul and miss because he now needs snookers, I believe. No, or is it now he needs snookers? What's the score? No, there's only 40 in it. What am I thinking about? There's only 40 points in it. 58 to 18. I think that's an 8. Well, this time he's finally got the hit. Oh dear, is he going to scratch? No. And this time, Jackson Lee has a shot in the red, and this should clinch it if he rolls this in. And then it goes. So that's the frame over. And no prizes for guessing what he's going to do here. Probably just going to roll in behind the brown. Is he going to go for the pot? No, just playing the snooker. Well, there's a problem here to hit this red because the brown on the left hand side cushion and the yellow on the right hand side are both in the way of the angle to get directly to the red. And it's not much better down the bottom end of the table here with the pink and black. And he's going to have to try and bend it off this bottom rail and bend into the back of the red, and that's asking a lot. But the angle's certainly not there to get to the red from this angle. If he comes off the side rail at the angle he's playing it at and hits the back rail, he's bound to hit the pink or the black. Looking at the way he's hitting this, unless he's putting out a bit of side on the cue ball. Doesn't look like it though. Well, he actually almost judged that pretty well. Now it's going to be a free ball, so this rack or this frame is most certainly over. And Jackson Lee nominating the green, that's going to count as an extra red. And a simple enough blue and a little roll through for the last red. So it's definitely over now. Good evening, Tommy. When did you type that? 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I thought I would just do a bit of streaming of what's going on in Shooter's Pool just before I get my dinner. I won't be here long. It's only going to be a shortish stream. So we had a look at 9 ball. And now that that match is finished, we're in looking at this match between Jackson Lee and Comeback. Race to 3. Jackson Lee's won the first frame. He's just going to see if he can clear the table. Well, the link for Shooter's Pool should be in the video description. I think I put it there. That'll take you to the main website. You should get all the information there, the subscription fees, etc. How much it is to buy V-Bucks. Right, frame's finally over. We're into frame 2. The referee doesn't call anything in the snooker, clearly. Like what we heard in the 9-ball match. So Jackson Lee breaks off in frame number 2. And there is a tempter down the right hand cushion to roll that red in and finish in the black. But Comeback doesn't seem to be interested in it. Well, he's having a look now. And this is a little roll in dead weight. Oh no. I don't know whether he was trying to pot that there or not, but he certainly didn't play to get on the black. And I think he can see the red to get it into the middle. Let's see if we can see that. Yes, he can. I think he can get the potting angle on it. He looks as if he's taking it long though into this corner pocket. That's a good shot. Excellent shot. And what's more, he's got a nice angle in the blue just to drop it in and finish on that loose red there. That's to the left of the pink as we look. He's just going to draw off this just to stop the cue ball running away. Well, he's gone the other way. And I think he's overcooked it. It seems simple enough to me to hold for that red that's to the left of the pink as we're looking. He's actually still on this red. Now, he has to go 100% for this because that pack of reds will hold him for the black. But he has to be gentle. And he's overcut the red. But that was the right shot to play to get to stay on the black. But I think he should have took the other red first though. So Comeback. A delicate red here. Now he doesn't look as if he's playing to pot it. He looks as if he's playing to punch it up the table. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's not playing the pot. Well, the safety zone isn't in bulk anymore because we've got two reds down there. So what you're going to find is that reds are going to get pushed up the table towards the bulk end, and the safety area is going to be behind the black, or the line behind the black anyway. The imaginary line going across the table. That's a nice shot on the red, and he's on the black. And that looks actually pretty good as well. I think he just dropped onto the red into the middle. It goes past the pink, certainly. Now, can he see enough of it? Yes, he can. I'll get this button right. Hang on a minute. There we go. It's my V button I need to move to be able to move the camera. It needs to keep running. It needs to keep going a bit more. It's fell a bit short. He's playing for the red to the right of the pink. He's still on it, but it's one of those little awkward angles again. Overcut. The evidence of whether it was a good shot or a bad shot is where the cue ball finishes, because he didn't really go for that shot with a lot of confidence, especially to get on the next colour. But he's done the one thing, he's left it safe. That's what matters. He didn't do anything silly to open the reds. He's kept it tight. Come back trying to skim off the red and come off the right cushion and go in behind the black here. Needs to watch he doesn't spin that cue ball into the pink though. Fairly simple enough safety shot, thin off the red. And nothing doing there. So anyway, what we're going to do is we'll leave this match with Jackson Lee currently up 1-0. The stream will die for a second and I'll have another little look around, see if there's anything else. I'll be back in a second. Shh, shh, shh. Shh. Right, so we have joined a straight pool match. We've got Xavier 438 or 43B, I think it is, who's playing Jorge Sands. This looks like a 7-foot table, one I've never seen before. Like I say, there's a multitude of tables available in this game. The lighting seems a bit dark in this room for my liking. It might be an 8-foot table, it's hard to tell. So it's straight pool race to 50 and Jorge's on 36 and Javier, or Xavier, however you want to pronounce his name, is on 8. Jorge's had a run of 12. That's his highest run. The straight pool is a simple enough game. You call the ball, you call the pocket you want the ball to go in, and you see how many you can get. So we've got a nest of balls on that side rail. They need to be moved. And Jorge's called a... Well, he hasn't called a safety yet. but the safety options on the left of the screen, it looks as if he's calling the bank. You see the little arrow over the middle pocket on the left hand side. And a lot of new players that come to any pool or billiard simulation take a while to get any touch in the game, because you have to work for it in setting up your mouse and getting the sensitivity and everything right, and getting your buttons and your controls right, and getting used to them and setting them to what makes it comfortable for you. If you don't take the time to do that, then you're really probably wasting your time thinking you're improving your game. You've got to get comfortable with all of those first before you can advance to the next stage. And you would expect Jorge to be the favourite in this match, seeing as he's one of the developers of the game. Now let's have a closer look. I think it's a cluster of 3, is it, or is it just 2 now? No, just a 2. Seems very dull in here to me. Or I think part of the problem is that cloth is absorbing any light that there is off that lamp above the table. It's like a red, deep red velvet colour. Now, of course, the balls get re-racked, and Jorge's at the wrong end of the table, so he's not got a break ball. So this 7 ball is going to have to try and manoeuvre the cue ball, and couldn't get enough power into it. So now he's just going to play a safety, just thin off the pack. And a ball has to hit a rail after a shot, or there's a penalty. Penalty's just 1 point, or 1 ball. And it looks as if Javi is getting a bit ambitious here. Called the 6 ball in the corner, and all he's done is smash them open. Now, Jorge's on 40, and there's enough balls here without too much hard work, I think, to win this rack, or this match anyway, in the race to 50. You can see the reflections off those wooden floorboards, or there might even be tiles. It's difficult to say, but it's possibly a wood effect on the floor. You can see we've got a snooker table at the other side of the bar, and we've got another pool table at the other end of the room. So Jorge moves on to 43. Now that, I think he's hooked himself in the 15 here. Yep, he's just gone too far. Now the cue ball should be running through for this 6 ball in the middle of the table if he pots the 5. Oh dear, he's scratched. Well, at least there's a ball in the open for Javier. So he's got a chance of this 6 ball. Now the game will automatically call the pocket that you're looking at, and unless you actually hit the nominate button, and it'll allow you to choose a particular pocket. But whatever the general direction that you're aiming at with the cue ball and an object ball, it will call that pocket on the assumption that that is the one you're playing it to. You've just got to be careful that you notice a little arrow And I think Javier's only problem is he's brand new to the game, and you can't be critical of, especially when I know how difficult it is to become familiar with it. You can't be critical of anybody who starts hitting balls in this game if they've never been used to it and they've only played it one day. Going to take a long time to settle in. Javier will just be glad to pot a ball now and again. That's how you start in all of these games. Yeah, I'm looking at the game on the stream, and it looks really dark on the stream. Mind you, my second monitor's not the best of. It's an old 14-inch flat screen monitor I've got as the second monitor, an old thing, and it really looks even darker on there compared to what I'm looking at. Well, if you want the soft lighting, this is certainly the room to play your pool in. And the only thing that's missing is a jukebox blaring away in the background in it, which is typical of many American pool halls. You've got a tournament going on and you've got a disco blaring up at the other end of the room. And meanwhile, Jorge is on 45. He'll nudge the 5 out once he plays this 3. And he's probably going to have to play the 5 down the rail. He's on nothing at this end. But he can come across for the 10 into that corner pocket. Is he going to roll it in dead weight? If he rolls it in dead weight, he's on nothing. Has to take it long, so he's taking it into the corner. And if he plays this right, he can bring the cue ball out into the middle of the table for the 10. Now, question is, what's he going to get next after this? Because the cue ball's running away from the remaining balls. So he's on 48. I don't know that he can see enough of this 1 ball to actually pot it. It looks very tight. I don't think he can. He could play it off the 13, believe it or not. Could punch it into the 13 and that will nudge it into the pocket. That might be what he's lining up. And that was what he tried. Got it. Actually hit the 13 ball too thick. Well, whatever you do, Javier, try not to split these balls up too much. And that'll be, well, I said it'll be over, but the 4 is being blocked by the 1. And so Jorge's going to call the 1 and play the combo. 1 into this corner, 4 ball onto the 1. Just lining up the angle. And he's played it well and just needs to tuck that 8 ball along the rail. And that will be the end of our stream, folks. Just a quick view of Shooter's Pool. And, well, if you're interested, click the link in the video description and you can go and try the game out. Meanwhile, I'm going to go away and get my dinner, and I will bid you good evening, and we'll see you again soon.